More phone calls coming up on this Tuesday. Mike Golic Sr., co-host of Golic and Golic on FanDuel Sports Network. He was, he was on the call for the Dolphins Steelers Monday night pregame halftime show on Westwood One Radio, and good to see you again, buddy. Explain the Dolphins situation to me moving forward into next season.
Well, obviously, you're talking about the quarterback. What do you do with Tua? We know there was a big dead money cap hit with Russell Wilson when he left Denver. I believe the post-June 1st cut for next year, if they were to go down that road, the dead money would be like $67 million, where his cap hit, if he's on the team, is $55 million. So, the question will be, have you seen enough of him? Are you willing to start over? And if you start over, do you start over with a draft pick or do you start over with a veteran? And are you going to be much better with a veteran? Or do you just kind of retool everything and you're sitting there at 6-8, you'll probably finish just a little under 500. You're not going to have a really high pick. And, oh, by the way, this incredible quarterback class coming out of college that we all thought before the season is really not an incredible quarterback class coming out at the end of the season. So, Mike McDaniel may have saved his job, which seems weird because we thought he was gone, but he may still be around.
How would you describe the Steelers' playoff potential as far as getting in? What can they do when they get in?
Dan, I don't think they can do much. I really don't. Pittsburgh has normally been a running team and a defensive team. Now, they ran it pretty well last night. Gainwell and Warren basically split carries, I think 13 and 12. So that was good. Defensively, they haven't been what they normally have been. And as far as Aaron was incredibly effective last night, 23 of 27, but most of those passes were to Gainwell, which were short passes. When he wanted to unleash one, he certainly did a couple of times for sure. But I don't think – now, the one thing that's in their favor is you don't have a dominant Kansas City team in the playoffs. You don't have a just below Kansas City dominant Buffalo Bills team this year. Buffalo will get in to the playoffs, but is it the dominant Buffalo team, the team that's been giving up a lot of rushing yards on defense? So I look at all the division leaders and I could find a flaw in all of them where it wouldn't surprise me if they got knocked off.
Can Mike Tomlin survive another one and done in the playoffs?
I think if you step back and look at it, if you get past the losing in the first round of the playoffs, having just good enough record to not pick late in the first round or not pick early in the first round, I would say this: what are you going to get out there that's better? What are you going to get that's going to make them win two more playoff games? I remember you remember too, Dan. Marty Schottenheimer went to a couple of AFC title games in Cleveland, didn't get him past the point, and got fired. Well, where's Cleveland been? I mean, it's not like they've found somebody to ride past that. So I think we kind of knee jerk, though this knee jerk has been for a couple of years with a Mike Tomlin. But my thought is when you settle down and you think about it, you're like, who are we going to get that's better? Are we going to get a retread that we know or a young, new first-time head coach that maybe injects something new into the team?
But is this sort of like Penn State, though? Like it's a cautionary tale of...
Yes.
Like they waited over 50 days for his replay. They were quick to get rid of him, that decision, but then you didn't exactly have the treasure trove of candidates that you thought you would. Now, the Steelers would be attractive because of the stability there. But, Penn State got Matt Campbell, and while he's really good, he doesn't have a good record against, top 10 opponents either.
No, I mean, there was really the one bell of the ball choice this year, and that was Lane Kiffin, right? Summerall went to Florida, was certainly up there as well, and a lot of coaches changed hands. But look at it. What do you look at when you go to a new team? You look at obviously ownership. Then you look at the quarterback situation. What's overall, the Steelers are a better situation than, but are they better than the Giants? The Giants have a quarterback. The Steelers don't.
Does Rodgers play next year?
Pardon me?
Rodgers play next year, in your opinion?
Boy, oh boy. It seems like he's had a really good experience with Pittsburgh. But again, if they don't go that far this year, what's the expectation that they're going to go far next year? Eventually, whether it's this year or next year, they have to start over a quarterback yet again. And they haven't found their guy to take them anywhere since Ben Roethlisberger. So, and it's normally a team that's built on defense and the run game anyway, but they still haven't been able to find a quarterback.
Let's look at the draft right now. The Giants have the number 1 pick. Are you confident that they would not be interested in Fernando Mendoza?
No, they will not.
Okay.
Okay. Jackson Dart.
They found their quarterback in Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Raiders, Jets, Cardinals, Cleveland, quarterback.
Yeah, I would say yes, but how many top quarterbacks are available? Now, we know the quarterback position gets overvalued. So you have Fernando Mendoza, you have Dante Moore from Oregon, who, by the way, can go back to college.
Yeah.
You have Ty Simpson, who can go back to college as well. In most of the mock drafts I've seen, there have been 3 quarterbacks taken, Ty Simpson taken later in the first round. So while the top of the draft, you're going to have a number of teams that need a quarterback, is the quarterback worth a number? Is there a third quarterback out there in college that's worth a number 4 or number 5 pick? That's going to be the question. We thought this was going to be an unbelievable class, but it turns out it maybe isn't. And Dante Moore can go back to school, even though in Oregon he did lose his offensive coordinator.
Talking to Mike Golic Sr., Golic and Golic on FanDuel Sports Network every weekday from 3:30 to 5:30 Eastern. We spent a lot of time talking about turf, natural turf, artificial turf, the number of ACLs, the fact you have a couple of marquee guys getting hurt, Micah Parsons non-contact. What was the worst playing surface? I probably know this. It was Philadelphia.
By far. It was like playing on a 20-year-old carpet over concrete. Except where the pitcher's mound was for the Phillies, then it was metal.
But could you complain? Could players complain to ownership? Can we make this better?
There was every visiting team filed a grievance with the NFL before their game in Philadelphia. Never went anywhere. But, I mean, remember Wendell Davis from the Chicago Bears went up for a deep ball, came down, blew out both patella tendons just on the turf. You could literally stand on that turf, not play a down in the game, stand on the turf, and your back would be just so hurt, so sore after the game. It was by far the worst turf. I mean, they're playing on a cushion of the gods today compared to what we played on. But I get their thoughts that if you're getting a lot of non-contact, I don't care what kind of artificial turf it is that bad for the player? And is it enough for the owners? Because we already know the owners have come out with their own report that kind of disputes the players' report, the NFLPA report of non-contact injuries. So it doesn't sound like the owners want to go change it anytime soon.
How about we bring the owners out and somebody tackles them and let them land on the field?
The owners couldn't last that long out on the field. That would be a good test for them, though they'd be unconscious after taking one hit. We'd have to use the smelling salts, which are now illegal, to wake them up.
Yeah, it's short-sighted, but it's all about money. And if you don't want to spend the money, this is where it feels like the commissioner should say, let's protect these players. If we're going to add an 18th game, shouldn't that be in there that let's do all we can do to protect them from themselves with, the blue tent and concussions and all of that. But the playing surface, I mean, go back to when RG3 got hurt, Mike.
Yeah.
My backyard looks better than that.
No, listen, I agree. And listen, there's natural grass surfaces that are horrible
Yeah.
as well. I mean, you have, I think in Vegas and in Arizona, I know in Arizona, where they roll in the grass for the game. That seems to be one of the best choices, right? Now you're only using the grass for a football game, nothing else to make your extra money. And going back to what you said about Roger Goodell and the commissioner, well, at the end of the day, who does the commissioner work for?
Yeah.
Works for the owners. So I don't know if he would be able to make a decision like that.
Is there a great team in the NFL?
If push came to shove and you made me name one, I would say the Rams. I would say the Rams are the most complete team in the NFL, close to the great team, but the most complete team. Now, losing Devontae Adams, we'll see how long he's out with a hammy, could hurt them. But I could make a case for every leading division team in the AFC to get knocked off, right? I was part of me and Ryan Radke for Westwood One called the Washington hosting the Denver game. Washington had a wide open receiver on a 2-point conversion to win that game with a backup quarterback, but Nick Benito blocked the ball, so they actually won it 27-26. So, I mean, they're winning one-score games kind of like Kansas City did last year. You're on the verge in the playoffs. One doesn't go your way, all of a sudden you're going home.
Yeah, and we saw what happened with Kansas City. You know, these teams that have these all these one possession games, one-score games, I always say I go against them the following year because you can't. It's not sustainable. I mean, the Chiefs were, I think, 12-0 in one-score games last year. I think they were 1-7 so far this year.
Yeah, it's that, and it's turnovers. Like turnovers now, like the Chicago Bears, it's ridiculous. They're plus 20. And they have 30 takeaways, 21 interceptions, 9 fumble recoveries. I would not bank on that happening next year.
Yeah.
Right. So I put that and one-score games kind of in the same box of you cannot count on that year to year.
Great to chat with you. My best to the family. Happy holidays there.
You too, Dan. Best to the family.
Thank you, Mike. That's Big Mike Golic. You can catch him every weekday from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. with Mike Jr.